to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Make sure you like, subscribe. We got a lot going on today. Oh, we got a lot going on today, man. People scared. People scared, man. They scared. They scared. These people are scared. You guys know me, man. Mr. Consistent, always here on Sunday. Sunday live stream, man. We'll be going over SPY, Qs, the rest of the market. And then we will be getting out of here. Hi, boys. How are you? I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well, sir. How are you doing? I'm doing very, very well. Just ready to make money for the week. Ready to day trade. Ready to get some swings. Ready to get some swing trades and get into it, man. Let's make sure you guys like this video. Let's run the likes up to at least 1,000 before we really get started. We knew the next leg was coming down, okay? We knew the leg down was coming. It's not a surprise. When you have a market run up like this, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? What do you really expect? You know? Now, I did think we were going to get a slight bigger bounce, but that's just not what we got. We didn't get that big bounce. Well, we got like it was $4 off, okay? It was $4 off from where I thought the bounce was going to be. But we did make that next leg down, like we talked about on the last Sunday live stream. Are we getting more downside? Let's run the likes up. We got 200 people in here. Let's continue to run the likes up. Let's see what Twitch is up to. Twitch is, I'm ready. We got SpongeBob in the Twitch talking about I'm ready. We got SpongeBob in the Twitch, man. It seems like when there's more fear in the market, you guys listen more, man. You guys listen more. There's more people that tune in. But for some reason, when the market's going crazy to the upside, you guys just don't listen. But we got a lot to talk about. We're going to be starting with the Qs, of course. So for the Qs, you guys know what I like to do, man. I like seeing what we talked about last Sunday, okay? Some of you guys tune in Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. And we like seeing what did we talk about last Sunday. For the past Sundays, we've been absolutely spot on. Let's come over here to the YouTube, click on the YouTube, see what's been happening with the Qs, and let's just see what's been happening for the. Let's see what we talked about.
Let's see what we said last week about the Qs.
Let's see what we talked about, man. For last week, you know, we gotta see if this is accurate. We gotta see if we're accurate on the live streams.
And for you to finally make a new leg higher, I'm anticipating for something like this to happen.
Okay.
Where we do get a nice little squeeze to the upside.
Nice little squeeze.
But ultimately, it ends up in making a new leg down.
Yeah.
And that'll ultimately lead us to the bottom, in my opinion. Now, I'm not trying to bottom to, you know, there's no such thing as trying to find on the top here. You know, we'll obviously take that next leg lower. Maybe not even 380. Maybe around 377. But
maybe around 377. You know.
That's the main thing I'm trying to focus on. Now, I'm not going into this week having bias by any means. So, you know, levels do have to play out. Do not get it confused. The levels do have to play out. But I'm anticipating us to, you know, bounce to 377, get a little relief rally, get some more bulls excited. I think it's going to be a bull trap. I'm just be honest with you.
God dang, was this boy spot on.
Make that next leg lower. And then by then, you know, September or August will be over. September will be here. And we'll be talking, and you know, people think September is going to be a very bearish month. I just don't agree. I think it's going to be very bullish. But
okay, so basically last week I told you guys to watch for a little relief bounce. We got that little relief bounce. It didn't take us as high as we thought it would, but we knew the next leg was coming down. Okay, that's basically what we talked about last Sunday. I just want to keep updating what we talked about each Sunday. We did this every single time just to make sure we all had I want to see where we went wrong or what we did right, etc. And we just so happen to be spot on. Okay, so for the Qs, what do we see next? We got that new leg down. Is this the bottom? Is this the bottom that people are expecting? I think it's the main question. And to be honest, who really knows? Who really knows? Our job isn't to find the bottom ticks. Our job isn't to try to figure out where the bottom is. Our job is to find great opportunities inside this bull market and buy the dip, get some far out contracts, etc. So I want to take it to over here. But first, where is everybody from inside of the TikTok live stream? We got SPY calls tomorrow, expecting a little pull down. My boy Danny P is in here. Where is everybody from? Before we move on. What do you think about these China news? We getting more downside. Look, Virginia, New York, Colombia, Charlotte, Dallas, Ohio, California, Dominican Republic, Ohio. I'm from Wisconsin. What about you? Let's run the likes up as well. You got, man, we had 200 people in here. Alabama, New Orleans, Florida, New Jersey. Okay. Yeah, we got a wide range of people in here today. Florida. Okay, so for the market, you have the market sitting at neutral, okay? The market is very neutral right now. And if you guys remember the past month or so, we were sitting in extreme greed. Okay? So now as we move on to the put and call options, this is actually obeying. Like, I thought this indicator wasn't about to do nothing. I thought it was done after we had that April and, May and July. We had that extreme bullishness. I thought, this wasn't an indicator to pay attention to. But it still is. This is still a perfect indicator that you could pay attention to, because at the end of the day, it shows you the market sentiment, the psychology of what's happening inside the market. So now you have the put and call option sitting in extreme fear. Okay? It's sitting in extreme fear. You got it sitting at around break even at 1.0. Okay? So this is still something that is very interesting in my opinion. I do think we have maybe some more bearishness to happen, to trap some more bears and to get more bears excited, okay? That's just the psychology of it, because what you have to realize, what happened on Friday, a lot of people thought Thursday was going to be a continuance of what happened on Friday, but the psychology just didn't match up. A lot of people were trying to time the top, etc., and that just didn't work. So now what you have is this sitting in extreme fear. And to be honest, I think you get this at least, where it usually tips out at around 1.14, 1.11, etc. That's where we had the top in December. That's where we had the top in March. And that's where we had the top in last year in September 29th, where we actually marked the bottom of the market. So I do think this comes up a little bit more. That's just what's been happening historically, happened for the past 3 times. So as we get back into the charts, do people think this is the bottom? Me personally, I don't think so. I think we're going to get a little relief rally, though, because we are very oversold and we're going to get the bulls more excited. I do not think this is the bottom just yet. I think we do push around 350. We get this around 1.10, and then we'll be talking about the next leg up, okay? Do not get this confused at all. Do not sit here for 1 second and think we're about to come crashing way back down to around 260, 270, okay? Now, anything is possible. Don't get it confused. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't talk to Jerome Powell on a daily basis. But what you have right now is the market coming into a interesting time where you do have negative news happening, which is perfect. It's crazy how the sentiment changes in not that long, okay? It doesn't take much for the sentiment to change. And that's what you got to love about the market, because if you guys remember back in October, where I told you guys to literally buy the bottom of this dip and get some June calls, there was mass fear inside the market where people thought this was going to continue to crash down. It didn't. It continued to rally and go absolutely crazy. Do not for a second think this is going to come crashing down. It made too much progress. There's too much money sitting on the sidelines. There's too many people that want to buy this dip, okay? But will this dip keep on dipping? I think so. But is there better positions to be had and the better positions to build up right now? Absolutely, because this is going to bottom out, in my opinion, around 350. I think we get 350 first. I think we get this around the put and call options around 1.10, 1.15, etc. Now, what's going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Who knows? We're going to be live day trading. We're going to be doing all that, etc. But this is more of a stream where psychology plays a big role. And you got to make sure you're not trying to time the top and you're not trying to time the bottom, okay? Because the bottom is going to show up regardless, okay? Anyways, Let's move on. Unfortunately, unemployed will continue to rise next week. 100. Yeah. Look, for all the people doing doomsday news, look, man, for all the people doing doomsday news and et cetera, this is exactly what the market wants. They want to bring the bears back inside the market after it just wiped almost all of them and took it to almost all-time highs. It stopped like $15 short. It's not going to stop right here, okay? It's just not. Now, would we get 350? Sure. You know, that'd be a good bounce. That'd be a good bounce. But anyways, let's move on. Let's look at the DXY. The DXY is now coming into a resistance where you do have it doing this. Now, will it break out? We'll have to see. The breakout will take you back to 106. But make no mistake, this is continuing to make higher or lower highs. Okay? So until it can officially break out, this is what you got to realize about the DXY. Until it can officially break out from where you're seeing it right here and make a higher high, it's been making this higher low. What do you think is going to happen right here? What do you think is going to happen right here? You might get a higher low, but you need to take out this higher high for the bear market to continue. If you guys remember in 2022, the dollar was what you really wanted to pay attention to, okay? The dollar is what you really wanted to pay attention to. But let me put on some music real quick, and then we'll continue. Hold on, y'all. Let me put on some music. Put on some music. Do you look at bonds? Did I miss SPY analyticals? No, we didn't look at SPY yet. We did not look at SPY yet. Okay, but you need the dollar. You need the dollar to push above this higher high. If you're bearish, you need the dollar to push above 104.50. Okay, you need it to make a higher high. But yeah, let's look at SPY. You guys know how these live streams go, man. We're gonna look at SPY, and then we're gonna move on to individual stocks, and I think that's where the most money will be made, in my opinion. These individual stocks, okay? So for SPY, what you have right now is it's sitting in a very interesting spot, okay? What you guys remember we were drawing these Fibonacci's? You guys remember we were drawing these Fibonacci's on the downside to where we had these 50% retracements inside the bull market? You guys remember. And they just kept hitting. Now what you got to focus on is the downside move. So for me to be bullish on SPY, it'll need to break above 437.50, okay? This is where you need to be checking. It actually wicked there and dropped, okay? You need to be looking for it to trade above here, 438, 437.50, okay? And then maybe get the retest, and then it will come back up to test 441. But make no mistake, now that it's pushing to the upside, and now that we talked about the put and call options, you know, coming to 1.10, because it never tops out at 1.0, okay? There usually is some more downside movement. There usually is some more bull trapping until we get to 1.10. Around 1.10 is where the market should be getting ready to bottom out, okay? So if I'm looking at this and it matches up perfectly, okay? It literally matches up perfectly with the Fibonacci. So the 441, if it breaks out from 437, it's taking it all the way to 441. That is the main thing I'm looking at for the upside. But there should be a rejection somewhere along here, okay? There should be a rejection. But we'll be paying attention to that. And yeah, that's what I think about SPY, man. That's what I think is gonna happen with SPY. I think you might get some more bears trap. You know, it could hit this trend line, and then we'll have to see. I really want to see the put and call options at 1.10 because this thing has been timing the top, the bottom, everything, okay? This is the main thing I'm paying attention to. I think we do get that test of 441 or 443, and then we'll get that next leg down. I want to see this at 430. If we see this at 430, and you guys see the news just continuing to pile on with all this negative COVID and you know, just random news, like people really think unemployed, man, go outside, bro, go outside. But I'd love to see us test this trend line, and that trend line will be at 430. I see a rejection perhaps coming around 443 for a SPY, okay? So that's just what I see. But you have to know, the market is very bullish right now, and this is a potential time for you to be dollar cost averaging into stuff. especially if you missed the last run. Like some of you guys missed this entire run from $34 to $50 on ARC. And now it's sitting in another perfect buying area for you, and you're scared to buy again. You're scared to get in on this dip buy for whatever reason. All right. They pulling out everything. Anyways, let's move on. We do have a nice earnings week this week as well. You guys know we like to cover everything on this Sunday live stream. I think TikTok might have shadow banned this live stream, but that's okay, man. We're going to rock with 50 people in here. That's just what we're going to do. My state has over 1,000 people homeless on Main Street. Look, man, if you want to pay attention to the negative news, by all means, do your thing. But we got Zoom. We got Zoom earnings after close. We got Baidu before open. We got Lowe's. We got Dick's Sporting Goods. We got BJ's. We got Kohl's, Peloton, Splunk, Snowbase, Nvidia, Dollar Tree, Futu. We got a nice earnings week coming up this week, okay? So those are some things to pay attention to. But let's check out some individual stocks for this week. You guys want to look at crowd? Let's take a peek at crowd. Okay, first of all, what you have to realize is this is going to all-time highs. And if you were to look at some January contracts, I think you will end up making a whole lot of money. Now, if you're looking for August and you're not patient and you're looking for it to take off in September, you probably won't get that. You got to realize there's October, November, December, January. There's a whole lot of months left out of this year for the sentiment to change, kind of like you saw back in January, okay? The sentiment is going to change. They're just getting, you got to realize, man, the market has been going absolutely stupid. You got to realize that, okay? If you got to look, man. And if you think this is a bearish setup, if you think this is looking bearish on a monthly time frame, you're going to end up getting done dirty. Okay? If anything, this is the perfect time for you to be looking to buy dollar cost average into positions if you're looking to get some equity, or for you to be looking for some excellent bounces to get some February calls. A lot of you guys get excited. You think the market is going to continue to the upside once you see all these green candles, but you're scared to enter on the first red candle this entire year. This entire year. Besides like this little pin bar that you see right here. This is February. But other than that, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and now you got this August red candle. Bro, it's a blessing. And a lot of people are, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? We know this. You have to buy the dip. Because a lot of people, and it's funny, you're going to realize the real people who know what the market is doing versus the people that don't. A lot of people are putting fear inside of your mind right now on the best, on a buy the dip opportunity, but we're telling you to buy the dip up here. Okay? Anyways, let's move on. But yeah, the Qs looks good. Crowd, in my opinion, it does look very good. You had the Pan W earnings. This is definitely going to continue to the upside. Now, with what we just looked at with the put and call options and possibly the Qs going to a lower low, etc. Is this the bottom for the Qs? I personally don't know. But could it complete this W to the upside? Absolutely. That's what it looks like it's going to do, especially when you had the Pan W earnings and Pan W actually took off. And if you guys know Pan W, crowd is basically his little brother, okay? So I do think this is going to make this W and possibly get to 158. Once it gets to, or not 158, 156. Once it gets to 156, you got to watch right here. I do think you see more upside movement for crowd. But after what it did in earnings and what it did on Friday, like this went from 140 to 152. If you guys think the bulls are weak, if you guys think the people aren't actually buying these opportunities and tricking you and putting fear inside of your mind, you're gonna end up getting wrecked. Okay? Now, of course, you got to play both sides. You got to play both sides, absolutely. But for crowd, I do think crowd looks very good right here. And I think you get that test of 156, okay? Wait for a pullback on it because it went absolutely crazy Friday. And then this is why you see crowd going absolutely crazy, because Pan W had earnings and Pan W, it did all right. It did all right. Should it be way up here? I don't know, but it did all right. All right, and if you guys know Pan W is basically sitting at all-time highs. It's sitting at all-time highs, okay? Anyways, move on. I used to work for PanW, got my 4 years worth of stocks and dipped. Hey, that's how you do it, man. You got to move on. Better and bigger opportunities. What's up with Disney? Let's look at Disney, man. Disney is one of those stocks that, in my opinion, this is just one of the ones that I just would rather not mess with, okay? You see it bull trapping and just dumping and just chopping since June. Like, I would call this chop. So this is a stock that I personally don't even like looking at, don't even like messing with until it really has a trend shift. Now, is it sitting at massive support? Absolutely, it's sitting at some massive support. Is this good risk to reward? Absolutely, it's good risk to reward, especially if you're looking to get calls because it's sitting right here. But would I mess with it? Nah, I would leave it alone until it can actually trend shift, until it can actually break and make a new high, which would be around $94, $95, okay? Now, is this a good equity buy? Absolutely. I think equity is the move for this, but until they get out that woke stuff and, the LG, that's just stuff it needs to figure out. So, Disney, I don't even like looking at it because it doesn't follow the market. It doesn't really do much. So, this is look, man, somebody said this perfectly. This person said it perfectly. He said, remember, this is when people were expecting the real recession when it didn't happen before. If you looked at, how does the market do this? Like, how do people get tricked so easily? Now, don't get it confused. Like, August was a good month to get into puts, and we were doing that. Like, we were in the Discord catching SPX, and some longer term swings got hurt a bit. But this is the perfect time, to trade around your position, get some puts. But do not for 1 second think this is gonna make new lows. And I actually want to look at Tesla. Before we look at anything else. Let's look at Tesla. Man. Tesla is sitting in perfect. Oh my! Like, this is why, man. This is why. Now, could something like this happen? Remember when Tesla made that peak high in February 15th? That's exactly where it's sitting right now. And then it came down and crashed, and then you had that squeeze to the upside. I think we're going to get something exactly like that. Do I think Tesla's done making new lows? No. But do I think a squeeze is bound to happen? Absolutely. This thing has been dumping tragically. And if you guys know anything about Tesla, Tesla has a lot of good stuff happening for it. Tesla has a lot of good stuff happening for it in the bigger picture. They're not just an EV company. Matter of fact, they're the best. If they were just an EV company, they're front running everybody and having charging stations where GM literally has to be like, hey, can we use your charging stations, bro? This is an AI company. It does so much more. They're probably going to put out some robo-taxis, man. They're going to go crazy. And this is a dip that is absolutely perfect. And the reason I tell you guys this is because this is sitting in a buy area. Like, this is literally sitting in the 50% retracement from this huge run. Remember I was telling you guys to buy at 170? If you guys go back on YouTube around like just look at a May stream or something. If you go on our YouTube, that's why you want to make sure you're following YouTube, because we document this stuff. Like, this stuff has been spot on for a very long time. We told you guys the next leg down was going to come. We knew the next leg down was going to come as last week. Last Sunday, I was telling you guys, the next leg down is going to come. But if you guys go back to May on here, I think it was this stream or something. Tesla was at 170 and I was begging you to buy. And now we're looking at this. This is the perfect dip opportunity. And if you're looking at short Tesla right here, after it has fallen from 300 to 215, you're just FOMOing and being a sheep at this point. Now, a good time to short Tesla was 262, and you could have got away with it when it dipped below this demand right here at, 240. You could have got away with it because, it dipped, this isn't the 50% retracement. But right here, you telling me you done missed out from 300 to 215, and now you want to short it right here because you think it's going to get to 180? You're doing it all wrong, man. You're doing it all wrong. To me, Tesla looks very good right here. And to be honest, we knew this was going to happen. We drew this, before this even happened. So now that it's sitting in this perfect buying area, I do think we get some sort of relief rally to the upside, because this is going to take out all-time highs, whether you think so or not. Rather you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what you think, okay? This thing's going to end up going to all-time highs, and I think this is actually a very good opportunity for you to be looking for, for a decent bounce. It's sitting on the bro. It's sitting on the trend line. So even if you're wrong, like, it's good risk to reward. But anyways, let's move on, man. Let's move on. I'm in Tesla. My boy Vardo in here. I'm in Tesla with 154 shares, hoping it breaks all-time highs. Look, man, the market is not done rallying, okay? This is the market is not done. But it has to trick out some people. You know, it has to do what a market does. It has to do what a market does. And to be honest, when you're at this lowest point on the put and call, like, you were literally at the lowest point. It's at really, it should have stopped right here in June. But it kept going until July and ended up going to the lowest it's ever been in an entire year. And now you have it retracing back to upside. You got extreme fear for some odd reason. Like, people really think this is going to continue to go down. You're sitting in neutral. It's almost at fear. I do think we dip into fear. But this is a very interesting time, man. I think this is the best, one of the best times besides January. And yeah, like, if you were buying, if you were trying to get in and put your whole account in at the tippity top and trying to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, you deserve to get cooked up. Especially if you weren't listening when we were trying to give you perfect buys in January and perfect buys in May. And now you just decided to listen at the top of the market in June and July. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's move on. Let's move on, man. Tesla looks absolutely amazing, and this is one that I'm looking forward to for next week. Let's look at QCOM. Somebody said QCOM. Let's look at QCOM. Let's look at QCOM. Let's look at QCOM. All right, so for QCOM, oh my lord, man, you gotta love QCOM, man. Some people come in here and think I'm just a, they think I'm the biggest bull, man, and I am, man. I'm very optimistic on what the market could potentially do. I'm very optimistic, especially on QCOM, especially on semiconductor stocks. Okay? Now, of course, you got this big dip to the downside. But guess what? I was telling you to buy in May when it went from 102 to 124. Some of you guys remember, the OGs remember, I was literally begging you to buy right here. And now that it's sitting right here at 110, $10 from where I was talking about it right here, there's absolutely no way I would tell you to look for shorts. There's absolutely no way, especially when you have this nice bullish divergence happening on the four-hour time frame to where it was making a lower low like you see right here, but on the RSI it's making higher lows on a 4-hour time frame. With these pin bars, man, this looks absolutely amazing heading into next week, okay? This looks absolutely amazing. QCOM is probably one of my favorite ones to watch for this week. Excellent risk to reward because all you got to do is stop out below 109. All you have to do is stop out below 109, and it's currently sitting at 110. Okay, so the risk to reward on QCOM is absolutely there, and you got to make sure you're paying attention to QCOM, okay? It's absolutely, like, do your research on what semiconductors actually are. Okay, do your research on what semiconductors actually are because you're going to be very surprised. And actually, the last time this was here, the last time it was in this price region that you see right here, look what it did. It went from 107. It went from 107 to 140. Okay? It went from 107 to 140 in 1 month. Okay? So this is not an area where you should be looking to short it. Okay, not this week, okay? Until you get more information. Like, to short this, you got to realize, this would have to dip below here, come back up. It would have to dip below here, come back up. Like, there's no, bro. There's just too much. Man, I'm about to get in a long swing on QCOM, man. There's people getting fearful, and this is what I absolutely love. This is how I made so much money back in January. Because there's just so much fear inside the market. Man, I love it, bro. I love it. I love it. August, like, there's people right now thinking, like, September's usually a very bad month. Let's actually look up this real quick. Because people look at the news and they believe the news and they look at, like, remember I was telling you guys back in January and December and February, I was like, these people are usually wrong. Matter of fact, they're most likely going to be wrong. Back when Mike Wilson was telling you that we're going into a recession at the bottom of the market. Back when Marco Kovanik, the JPM head strategist, literally the head strategist at JPM was telling you we're going to go to a recession and the market's going to dip lower at the bottom. And now they're saying that, you know what's funny? August 1st, like they were putting out articles saying the market's not going to bottom out and it's actually going to continue higher. And guess what? We dumped. Anyways, let's look at the historic returns month by month, man. I just think it's so interesting, and I love the market, man. I love the market. Let's see. Let's see, man. Let's see. SPY returns month by month. Percentage. Because people are saying September is going to be a bearish month, and historically it usually is. But what you got to realize, this is not a look, man. When the mass majority knows something, that ain't how it goes, man. That is not how it goes. Not how it goes at all. Okay. We just gotta add for Twilio. All right. So let's look at this. Monthly average return. So a lot of people think September is going to be a very bad month. Okay. What is this? Monthly average return and gain frequency. Yeah, so usually it's negative this month. So you have negative, negative, negative. Like this is all red almost. Besides, you know, these greens, the cash, you know, but the QQQ technology, you know, there's things that matter. Like the things that we trade, the SPY, VTI, the total stock market, you know, preferred stocks, US technology, stuff like that is usually red in September, and a lot of people are making sure that they are paying attention to that. And I'm telling you right now, man, you got to be careful because I think September is actually going to be bullish. But of course, we'll have another Sunday live stream and we'll go over that. You know, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know exactly what is going to happen, but I have a pretty good idea, and that's just something we got to pay attention to. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Home Depot. You want to look at TDOC? We'll look at TDOC as well because health technology looks very good. Okay, so for Home Depot. Look, man, it made its measure move. It made its measure move. I actually want to look at Dow Jones stocks as well. And to be honest, I might restart this live stream because I think TikTok shadow banned me. We usually got like 200 plus people in here, but they shadow banned me. We got 60 people in here right now. I might have to restart it because I think this information is very good, man. And to be honest, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps, man. I'm getting goosebumps because when the market is in fear like this, man, WAM be shining, man. We shine. But for Home Depot, we knew this measure move was going to happen. We knew it was going to get to 322. And now what you see for Home Depot is it's sitting. Let me delete all that. You know, we were correct on Home Depot. You go on YouTube and look at our predictions, etc. But now you have Home Depot sitting in this massive rejection zone. Now, what usually happens in these rejection zones, you know, there's sheep that watch this stuff and they want to hop in when they think it's going to break out right here, etc. What you got to realize, this has happened plenty of times, and I think we're going to retest this 348 region, dump back down, and then we'll get that move to all-time highs. Okay, and the reason I'm saying that is because this has happened so many goddamn times. Okay, but if you want to be smart about it and you don't even care about nothing that's happening up here, etc., you could just wait for a decent, and I don't think you'll get this, but if you ever do get this 300, you could just leave Home Depot alone because with the way WAM operates, we don't buy these resistances, bro. we don't buy the breakouts, okay? We don't buy the breakouts. We don't buy when it's sitting at these resistances, etc. We buy on dip opportunities. Okay, we buy on these dip opportunities where you can get a lower premium for your contract and where there's the most opportunity to the upside. So for Home Depot, if you're not looking for this upside movement, which I think it will get to, it'll get this liquidity at 341, you know, 347, and then it will make its leg down to 320, and then it will go to all-time highs. I would just be patient. This isn't one that looks good, and for my analysis, man, It's not my favorite. It doesn't look, you know, it's just here. So that's what I think is going to happen with Home Depot. Me personally, if I was looking at it, I would wait for it to dip to 310 before I want to get into some calls. And if you're looking to get into something short term, at least wait for it to dip below this pin bar, which is around 322, okay? You definitely don't want to try to short it after it had this massive pin bar until it can get below it, because after it gets below it, it's going to tank, okay? Anyways, let's move on. RIOT. Oh, my Lord. They're giving, they're giving some buying opportunities today. Remember I was telling you guys to get RIOT at $10, okay? It's back there. I was telling you guys to get RIOT right here. And we made 200%. It went all the way to $20. You're now getting the same opportunity, man. You had the FUD. You had the bearish news on Elon Musk selling his Bitcoin for SpaceX. A lot of people think they should do the same. A lot of people think they should do the same. A lot of people are getting fear. And this is what you have to love, okay? Just know that if you look at any live stream right now, they're probably going to be fearful. But I'm telling you right now, it's not a time for you to be fearful. Warren Buffett said it the best. When others are fearful, you be greedy. And when others are greedy, you be fearful. Well, Sir Warren Buffett, what do we have right now? We have people in extreme fear, kind of like how we did back in March, back in December when the bottom of the market was. And you guys are sitting here still being fearful. Now, don't get it confused. There is going to be some trapping happen. There is going to be some more psychology, because what you got to realize about the market is that it's 80% psychology and 20%, actually the technicals and TA. So if the psychology was to play out, you would put more fear inside the market and get people really thinking that there's going to be a recession, really thinking that there's going to be some more bearish news happening and bearish stuff happening. And then you would take the life out of them and just snatch them and then take it to all-time highs. Okay? So that's exactly what's going to happen. But for RIOT, this is one that you want to get equity on, okay? Get equity on or buy the 2025 contracts. Bitcoin is going nowhere. There's transparency in Bitcoin. And if you see anything if you guys remember the crypto space overall, what are the exchanges that got taken down? It was the centralized exchanges, the non-transparent exchanges, such as FTX, Celsius. They weren't transparent. Bitcoin is the most transparent goddamn thing known to man. Okay, so what you have with Bitcoin, man, RIOT looks great. Me personally, I will get the 2025s. I already own a lot of equity. I already made a whole lot of money on RIOT, but it is entering into another perfect buying opportunity. And what you got to realize, this went from $3 to $20. You guys know that, right? You guys know that, right? This went from $3 to $20. Do you not think there should be a red month somewhere in there? People taking profits because they knew the market was going to be bullish in January, such as WOM? Do you not think there's going to be people taking profit? Come on, man. So yeah, I absolutely love RIOT. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get a notification when you went live. It just happened to see you were live. Yeah, I think TikTok shadow banned this one for sure, but it's okay, man. I'm going to just rock with the people we have today, and, the people that didn't tune in, they could just catch it on YouTube, etc., okay? They can just catch it on YouTube. I don't really, you know what I'm saying. All right, let's look at TDOC. All right, so you guys remember me talking about TDOC? You guys knew I love TDOC. And TDOC did have that little rally, people made some money, etc. But it didn't take it all the way to $40, which was our price target. I'm all about transparency on this channel. I'm not going to sit here and tell you something there's a lot of people that will sit on here and are scared to be wrong. That is not me. I don't care to be wrong. I really could care less. I couldn't care less, okay? I couldn't care less to be wrong. Now, did we catch TDOC and did we make some money on TDOC from the swing from, June to July? Absolutely. Do I think TDOC is still going to get to $42? Yes, okay? Yes, I do. Is this a good buying opportunity for TDOC with risk to reward there? Absolutely. It's sitting in demand. It's sitting in demand, okay? Now, what could potentially happen is that it does sweep it, okay? Like, it could just sweep it and get to $20. Amazon has a lot of stuff happening with the online healthcare, etc. So it could just sweep it. But is this an area that I would love to buy some TDOC because I know what TDOC is? Absolutely. Absolutely. This isn't even trading at COVID prices. Nothing has changed for TDOC. It's bull diverging heavily. And as soon as the market turns back up, with everybody taking profit. This is a rotation. What you got to realize, the market is falling the most because these big caps are falling the most. Why? Because a lot of these big caps, these large caps, went to all-time goddamn highs. They went to all-time highs. So there's going to be some profit taking. And where do you think money is going to rotate to? Money hasn't even started rotating. In the bull market, bro. The bull market hasn't even bull marketed yet. It has to put some fear inside of them. It has to put some fear inside of them, because if not, everybody's going to get rich. Everybody's going to get rich, and that's not the market's goal, okay? That was in January. If you were listening to WOM in January when I was specifically telling you guys to get some calls, man, begging you. You could have made a whole lot of money. You could have front run everybody. But do not get it confused. You will be able to front run everybody again, because fear is coming into the market, man. Fear. What is the acronym for fear? What is the acronym? There was an acronym for fear that I forgot, but I completely agree with. It was like, dang, I forgot. Let me look it up. Fear acronym. False evidence appearing real. There it goes. False evidence appearing real. Now, how many of you guys can actually relate? How many of you guys can actually apply what's been happening in the market for the past, since August, since really July? The market topped out in July 18th. And now you have a month of bearishness and fear inside the market. You have all this false evidence appearing real, kind of like how you did in January, okay? ARC 2025 calls, you're absolutely right, okay? All right, so for Twilio, a lot of you guys remember Twilio. I was like, man, I'm not buying right here. I'd rather get the sweep at $55. And that is where Twilio is going. I think you do get that sweep at 55. But let me move on to what you guys are looking at. Bitcoin charts, Tesla. We looked at Tesla. If you missed anything that we talked about inside the market, just go to the YouTube. We will be posting all of that. Go to the YouTube. We will be posting the recap. Apple. Let's look at Apple. All right, so Apple came down to the buying area. I do still think this is the buying area. I don't think Apple has bottomed, okay? Apple, in my opinion, has not bottomed. So what you want to be paying attention to is it's sitting actually in a rejection zone right now. I'm not even going to hold you. It's sitting in a rejection zone right now, okay? And if you guys know anything about Apple, this is a stock that pushes up the market or pushes down the market, etc. And if you guys know anything, look, man, if it doesn't get past 175, and to be honest, the risk reward isn't even there to get in the calls. This is the area you want to be paying attention to. It already kind of rejected, but pay attention to 175. If it gets past 175, it will be retesting, 177. But do not get it confused. I'm very bullish in the long term, in the next month, 2-3 months. Yes. But in this week that's coming up, don't be biased. You want to trade the up and down movements. If you're not swing trading long term, if you're not looking to get equity, if you're not actually looking to build up a portfolio, which is the dumbest decision in my opinion, and you're just looking to day trade. On these dips, on these great dips that you're getting for a lot of these stocks, especially these lower cap stocks, look to build a goddamn position, man. You will thank me when January comes, when February comes. You will be thanking me because I didn't sit here and feed you more fear and sit here and try to give you put plays. You know what I'm saying, man? Anyway, this is the first time it's notified me when you're live in a minute. Some people are saying it notified you. Some people are saying it didn't. Anyway, let's look at the Dow Jones. How long have I been live, man? I've been live for 44 minutes. I don't anticipate this being a long stream. We're going to look at the Hang Seng, and we're going to look at the Dow Jones, okay? You guys remember when I was telling you the Dow Jones was going to break out right here, remember? And it broke out. It went absolutely crazy. It reached our price target. Like, a lot of you guys forget, man. A lot of you guys forget. A lot of you guys don't actually listen. But now what you have with the Dow Jones is you have it sitting back inside. It's retesting the breakout. That's what it's doing, okay? It's retesting the breakout that it just had. And if you know anything about the Dow Jones doesn't really follow what the Qs is doing, doesn't really follow what the S&P 500 is doing. It follows its own rhythm. That's why you had this massive consolidation from January to August. No, to July. When the market topped out, look, when the market topped out on the Qs, the Dow Jones rallied. All right. The Dow Jones rallied, man. It rallied. It went crazy. It went stupid. It kept going. All right. So for somebody said Goldman Sachs, and the reason we looked at the Dow Jones first is because Goldman Sachs and UNH, they're the top stock holdings in the Dow Jones. Okay. If you didn't know that, now you know. I actually want to pull that up because we're going to look at some Dow Jones stocks, because what you have to realize. Oh my God. Goldman Sachs. It looks good. It looks good right here, man. And this was the pullback we were waiting for after it went crazy from the bottom of this channel. It's now back at the bottom. Man, come on, bro. Come on, man. And you have fear in the market now? Man, I hope the fear keep coming, man. I hope it keep coming. I hope it keep going. I hope people continue to be very, very fearful. Very fearful. Because guess what? You're going to get squeezed. Squeeze. All right, so for the Dow Jones, a lot of you guys forgot. I'm subscribed to the Twitter or X, whatever. But good to see you, my guy. Good to see you too, brother. It notified me. Yeah, I guess it's notifying people, but the thing is, we usually have over 200, 250 people in here. So I know something happened, but it's okay. Like, I'm not tripping. But anyways, if you look at the Dow Jones, this is the top. Goldman Sachs is the third stock in there. Microsoft, and you have UNH and Home Depot, etc. Okay, that's why Home Depot looks like it's ready to break out as well. But Visa, Caterpillar. If you look at Goldman Sachs, this is a stock that is sitting inside of its bullish megaphone. And we've seen this exact same thing play out so many times. So Goldman Sachs looks there's no way I would short it right here, man. There's and this is one that actually looks very, very good heading into tomorrow. Why? Why does it look so good? Let me check out the 4 hour. Why does it look so good? Yeah. Yeah. You got a lot of bull divergence happening. A lot of bull divergence happening. As it continues to go lower, this thing continues to make a higher low, and it's looking ready to at least retest 330, okay? Goldman Sachs is sitting at the bottom of the trend line. The bottom. And what usually happens, like if we look at Shopify, some of you guys remember Shopify, and I keep bringing this up because it's the exact same situation. You had that massive, look. You had it literally doing exactly, take a mental picture, and then just look at Goldman Sachs. You have it doing the exact same thing. Okay, so do not for 1 second think Goldman Sachs is bearish. This thing is in the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones usually breaks out and usually goes crazy when the market, when the Qs and stuff is not going crazy. And what do you have right now? The Qs and stuff not going crazy. That is where the Dow Jones shines, okay? So the Dow Jones looks very good in my opinion. Goldman Sachs as well. So whoever said Goldman Sachs, yes, I do think so. McDonald's. Let's look at McDonald's. Let's look at Mickey D's. Let's look at some, bro. Who said McDonald's? Because this looks good. Who said McDonald's? This looks amazing. TSM. We'll look at TSM as well. But god damn. Sitting in the perfect liquidity. Let me see something. Bro, if this is... Alright, it's not there just yet. You know, it has to get to 275 to get the 50% retracement. But to me, this is really good risk to reward, okay? It even got this little doji on the daily. Let me see something, man. I really like this one. It has good risk to reward on it. That's why I like it so much, because all you got to do is stop out below these wicks. It's sitting at 281. You just stop out below 280, 281. You just stop out below like 280.50 and you're good. And the upside potential is really where it's at, because the last time it had this big wick, it went from 280 back to 230, or it went from 280 back to 300. So to me, this is definitely an area that has some buyers, for sure. For sure, you gotta love this one. You gotta love it. And you know what's even funnier? Like, this is not a stock you even want to be bearish on. This isn't even a stock that you would sit here and really want to be bearish on. Man, come on, man. Looks good. I like it. Whoever said that, appreciate it. TSM. See, the people that really watch these live streams are getting a lot of benefit, because they're able, like, I'm answering every single one of these. Every single one. JPM, we'll look at JPM. All right, so for TSM, first of all, wow, look, man. Literally sitting, and you have NVIDIA earnings coming up. You have it sitting at the liquidity inside of the. Do you think the semiconductor news just comes and then it goes like it's done? You literally had Elon saying he can't buy enough of chips. He can't buy enough. There's not enough supply for the demand. There's way too much demand and not enough supply. There's way too many people wanting chips, but there's not enough chips to be made. And what is TSM? What is TSM? Man, this is the biggest manufacturer. It just kills me because I know there's people bearish out there, man. It just kills me, man, because I know there's people bearish out there, man. And it sucks, but it's like somebody got to lose money. And the reason you got this massive rejection, I knew it, bro. I knew it. It's because it came to the 50, like when it made the tippy top, it dumped all the way down. That was obvious because in 2022 we topped out. And, basically all of 22 was a bear market. So, obviously, we're going to get this crash. You have war with Ukraine. There's a bunch of stuff going on. But October, it bottomed out. And then it came to the 50% retracement from the top. Obviously, it was going to get some sort of dump right there. That was a 50% retracement to the top. And it dumped. But now what you're sitting on right here is an absolute gold mine. And this is the stock. This is actually the candle that reverses. That has been reversing this entire run. So you had it right here. You had the doji. You had the same thing happening right here. You had the same type of candles, pin bars and dojis. You got to be a goddamn fool to short this is what I'm saying. All right? I don't even care if we're in a bear market right now. You got to take the risk and be like, man, I'm going to just get some September 15 calls, the 92s, and I'm going to just sit on them until September 3rd. Because this is a great buying opportunity. Even if it dips down a little bit, goes to, 88, fake out some more people, this thing still has a lot of room to the upside. It's the biggest manufacturer of semiconductors in the world. And to be honest, some of you guys might come in here and be like, man, this dude is a goddamn big bull. He's the biggest bull I know. He's the biggest bull I know, man. And it's true. I just know good buying opportunities when I see one. And to be honest, TSM, it looks absolutely amazing, man. Whoever said TSM, this one looks good. And that's why QCOM looks so good to me as well. The only thing is NVIDIA has earnings. So either NVIDIA is going to pump a lot of these semiconductors, or it's going to, dump a little, it's going to dump them some. It's not going to make a big move like NVIDIA. But it's very, very interesting. So TSM looks very good. Even AMD looks good. And remember I told you guys, I'm looking for AMD to $100. Remember I was saying that? Man, I was saying AMD to 100. And with all, bro, we gonna make so much money, man. We gonna make so much money. I'm more excited than look. If you're not getting excited right here, but you're really excited up here, you have a problem. And I'm just talking about to the bullish side, okay? I'm a bull. I'm very optimistic on what's going to happen in the next 3, 4, 5 months. I think we're going to be very bullish. I think we're going to make all-time highs. That's why I'm talking like this. That's my thesis. But if I was bearish, I'd be saying the opposite. I'd be saying the opposite. But I just know that the market is bullish, and that we're going to continue to go to all-time highs after all this fear is incorporated into the market, after it gets more bearish, excited, etc. Okay? And of course, you're supposed to be trading around your position. So if you got TSM January calls, look, some of you guys don't know this, and it doesn't make me mad, but it's like, come on, man. You should know better. If you're getting scared out of your positions because you got January calls for TSM or something, trade around it. You can get puts. You can day trade some puts. You can swing a month puts. You can hedge your position. You know that, right? You can buy $10,000 worth of TSM calls for February 2024, and then put $2,000 in some puts. You know you can do that, right? Maybe you don't. I don't know. We've been having a big run, so obviously we're having a correction right now. Absolutely. A lot of people don't realize that. They think this is the top of the market. They think we're done. Man, it's astounding. It's astounding, man. So for BA is in the Dow Jones. BA just broke out. It broke out from this pattern that you see right here. This thing is not done. This thing is not done by any means. First of all, I'm just get this out the way. Every single time this thing makes a new low, this thing went back to COVID levels, which is absolutely crazy in my opinion, back in September. But it went to COVID lows. Every single time it makes a new low like this, what do you see? It goes back to all-time highs. 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 Okay? That's all it does every single time it makes a new low. BA is not a garbage company. They manufacture plane. They're a real company. They're a legit company. All right, so for BA, what I see is this gap. This is an obvious gap. Does it come down and fill that gap? I have no clue. But do I think this is a good buying opportunity for BA? If it dumps again, I wouldn't mess with it after it, Friday. If I didn't get in Friday, I wouldn't even try to mess with it, because what usually happens, the psychology of the market, what usually happens when you get these pumps to the upside, the reason this happened is because what happened Thursday. Thursday was a dump day, and a lot of people got FOMO. So that FOMO is going to carry over until Friday. And what you have with Friday is people trying to get in on the top. They're trying to time the tops to get in for some puts. Okay? So what's going to happen is they're going to get faked out and squeezed out because they were biased. And that's exactly what happened. That's how we made so much money on Friday. And we literally just got into calls on Friday, because that was the psychology of the market. I just told you guys, 80% of the market is psychology, 20% is technicals. We got into XPX calls. He made 730. We literally called him outside the Discord. SPX calls, 40%. These went crazy. W day. We went stupid, okay? Just because we knew the psychology of what was going to play out, and we talked about it all day long in the chat. All right, so for BA, I think you don't want to try to catch. You want to wait for a better buying opportunity is what I'm saying. And what do we usually do to find the better buying opportunities? Could this push back up to 234? I absolutely think so. BA is very strong. I think this pushes back up to 230, 234 before it gets that next leg down, okay? Before it does something, maybe it double bottoms, or maybe it comes down and fills half the gap and goes back up, okay? But I think you get that 233, 234 to get the bulls, the psychology of the bulls back into the game, thinking this is the bottom, etc. And then you get that wipe to the downside, and then bro, what you got to realize is when you get these retracements back to the upside, the psychology of it, when you get these retracements back to the upside, there's going to be way more bulls interested into the market and thinking this is the bottom and thinking they have to buy the dip, and that is exactly where you want to rug pull it. The other way is the bears think they're trying to top time it. They're like, oh yeah, the recession's happening, all the bad news is happening. They try to top time it. They end up getting squeezed out. Once they're squeezed out, they squeeze out the bear. You know what I'm saying? Think about it like that. Think about what, look, all you got to do is go to the person that you know sucks inside the market. Go to the person that you just know is a sheep every single time, and they just go, oh, they see Marco Kovanik, they see Mike Wilson talking about how the market is going to continue to go into a recession. And just do the opposite. Because they're the sheep's mentality. Look, let me show you something, man. Let me just show you something. Let me show you something, and then we'll look at the Hang Seng, and then we'll get up out of here, because I know you guys want to get up out of here. I know you guys want to enjoy your Sunday. But yeah. Marco Kovanik. Bro was outright negative on stocks. He was outright negative. Marco Kovanik braces for a hard correction, a hard landing in January 24th, the bottom of the goddamn market. Come on, man. You really think he did that? You really think bro was bearish on the market? No. He was actually very bullish. He was just tricking the sheep. He was tricking the sheep. Bro probably made bands. He probably made bands off the bottom and told you guys to short the bottom. All right? Now, we switch over to what is happening right now. And Mike Wilson was saying the exact same thing. I just want to show you this to let you know that WOM is actually going to give you the real news, that what is actually happening. We don't want to trick you guys out. You know, we want to put you guys in the best position. We're actually looking out for you. Look. Let me show you something, man. This is why you got to pay attention to the news as well. Not because the news is right, but because you can get information from the people that are on the news, because they think they're trying to trick out the sheep, but really we know their plans. We know what they're trying to do. We know. Look, man. Look. And you know what's funny? Back in January and February, everybody was showing me Mike Wilson articles saying that Mike Wilson think the market is going to crash and you think the market is going to go up. Bro, you're going to be wrong. Now, look, bro was... They were going with some Wall Street top strategists that they don't even goddamn know. They don't even know, bro. They don't even know, bro. They don't know him. He don't care about you. But they were going along with what he had to say, and they got cooked. But anyways, Wall Street's top strategist admits he was wrong. And I like that. The thing that I like about this is that he's admitting that he was wrong, although he was getting in the calls anyways. But he admitted that he was wrong. You know, he don't care about being wrong. I actually respect that. I can't lie. People come in here nowadays and try to switch up their positions and being like, "Oh no, I was saying the market was bullish and I was actually right." Like, no, you're wrong. But it's okay. That's the thing. Like, nobody's gonna be 100%. But just come on now, don't try to lie. But yeah, he said he was wrong. But if you come back over here, if you come back in 2022. Bro's trying his hardest to delete all the recession articles that he put up, man. He trying his hardest, man. He trying his hardest because for some reason I can't find them anymore. Isn't that weird? I can't even find them anymore. Look, here it goes. The worst earnings recession since 2008 could hit stocks next year. Morgan Stanley chief strategist Mike Wilson says. This was December 19th, the bottom of the goddamn market. And tell me why bro timed the top. Bro, tell me why he put out another article in July saying that, oh yeah, we're about to go crazy. We're about to go to the top. And then all of a sudden we started dumping. You understand? We'll look at PayPal. But yeah, look, man, use the news as a source as well because it does help. And I'm telling you right now, dude does not, man. All right, so for PayPal, this is a stock that just swept its lows. You got to put some respect on it now because it swept its lows. It swept the low that it had in May. It had bad earnings. It swept it. So to short it right here is irresponsible. Look, I wouldn't even look to open a short on it. I don't care. You know, I wouldn't even look to short it. Why? Swept its lows, came to liquidity around $57, $58. Okay. So now what I would be looking for is a slight bounce to the upside. You know, I wouldn't be fully bullish on it. There's no way I'd be fully bullish on PayPal until it can actually break out from the higher lows it's been making, like you see right here. Higher low, or lower high, sorry. Lower high, lower high, lower high. So I wouldn't be bullish until it can actually break out from there. But what you have is it is sitting in this nice little channel. And it is at the bottom of the channel. It is at the bottom of the channel like you see right here. So I would be looking for a slight retracement to the upside. And that'll take you back to the top. I think PayPal is just in this nice little consolidation area. There's no way I'll be looking to short it right here. I wouldn't even be looking. I don't care if I do think PayPal is going to go lower. I know this is an area that I just wouldn't look to short it. Why? Because I missed the short opportunity from 76 all the way down to 57. What the hell were you doing right there? What were you doing right there? So I'll be looking for a slight bounce to the upside. And to be honest, I think that bounce is going to take you, probably back to 70 or something. But I don't like PayPal. I don't think it's good. Let's look at Square now that you said PayPal, and then we'll look at the Hang Seng. Sorry guys, and then we'll get up out of here because I've been live for a minute. But for Square is sitting in some nice demand as well. There's no way I would short it right here, but that's pretty much it. No way I would short it right here. And what usually happens is you get these M's inside of these W's. Okay, so I actually think Square is the most bullish it's been because you got this M that you see right here. I actually like Square. I like Square to the upside for sure. Because what you even the weekly is very bullish. And Square isn't a bad. I don't know if you guys use Cash App, but they're always updating it. They're putting crypto in it. And to be honest, I think they're going to be way more transparent than a lot of banks. I don't know. Just long term, like I wouldn't mind owning Square long term, just because Square is more than just the Cash App. They got a whole lot of products under block. So I actually like it. I think it's decent, man. I think it's decent. But let's look at the Hang Seng. Let's look at the Hang Seng. Oh my lord. This is why, man. This is why you can't go long, or you got to be more careful when you do see this at lows like it was. And I wasn't that careful. I wasn't I'm be honest. I was getting euphoria from how much money was being made. I was like, God damn, I'm making so much money, bro. Meanwhile, this was sitting at July 20th lows. So this was not ever a good time to be looking for long swings, long positions at all, because what usually happens is that it resets back to the upside, kind of like what you had in March. You guys remember March? This was the best time to buy puts, and I was begging you guys to buy puts in March. Even if you look at the TikTok, if you look at my TikTok right now, all the videos were for March, and I was begging you to buy a bunch of different calls because we knew March was going to continue to go to the upside. I told you to buy Airbnb. I told you to buy UAL. I told you to buy a whole bunch of stocks. Sorry if you didn't listen. But now, don't worry. There's going to be an amazing buying opportunity. And as long as you risk manage yourself enough to be able to catch this, you're going to do absolutely amazing. And you're going to be able to get some great Christmas presents. You're going to be going crazy, okay? But you got to look, man, you can't be throwing all your eggs in one basket. You can't be out here putting 50% of all your money inside one play, or all your, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a bit smarter than that. But if you look at the Hang Seng, you got all this FUD coming in the Hang Seng. You got all this negative news. I'm telling you right now, don't listen, bro. Don't listen. You got the Evergrande situation. You got yada, yada, yada. Who cares? Doesn't matter. They did the same thing back here in October. It bottomed in October and went absolutely crazy. The only thing you got to make sure you're paying attention to is to see what the majority of people are doing. Look at financial Twitter, FinTwit. Look at what they're talking about. If they're saying they're looking at China for a bullish movement to the upside, you see a whole lot of that. You don't mess with it just yet. Don't mess with it just yet. I think this actually dumps a little bit more, probably to the bottom, to maybe 1700 in this area that you see right here. This is actually sitting in the perfect 50% retracement, which is actually interesting. This isn't a bad, terrible spot. to be looking to build a position. It really isn't. 50% retracement's actually right here. So this isn't a bad spot. I just think it's going to dump maybe a bit more, but we'll have to see. I do think you see the Hang Seng at 28K by, probably next year in February or March. But right now you got all this FUD happening. You got a bunch of negative news, and the market has bears to get out. Okay, they got bears to get out of their positions, especially if their positions are 2 weeks out, a month out. If you aren't thinking long term about this stuff like January, February, March, don't even look to be a bull right now, because you're not even patient enough. Okay. Don't even look to be a bull right now if you're not thinking in terms of January, February, March of next year. Don't even think about it. Especially if you aren't patient, because you're going to get cooked up and you're going to sell for a loss, and you're going to be sitting here thinking I was wrong. And then December and January comes and we're sitting at goddamn all-time highs, and you're like, damn, I shouldn't have sold. I shouldn't have sold, man. Shouldn't have sold. Damn it. Could have, man, you over there calculating how much money you could have made. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, man. I hope you took some stuff from it. Appreciate everybody that came in and tuned in, man. TikTok shadow banned me this live stream, but we don't really care, man. We're gonna get the information out there, and we're gonna just enjoy it. I like this stuff because I was gonna do this stuff anyways. I was gonna sit here and look at what the market was gonna do anyways. I was gonna sit here, draw up some charts, but I got to do it with you guys. So appreciate you guys tuning in. And let's get this money next week, man. Let's get this money next week. Is it going to be bullish? Is it going to be bearish? I don't know. But what I do know, or what I believe is going to happen, and what I do think is going to happen, is that this is just temporary. They're getting bulls outside of the market, and they're getting ready to send it at all-time highs. Money is rotating. Money is getting taken out of these bigger caps, and money is getting distributed, or money is getting taken back into cash, getting ready to get deployed for these dips that is happening right now. All right. Anyways, peace out, y'all. I just got to notice you were on 2 minutes ago. Yeah, TikTok is tripping, but it is what it is. Peace out. All right, Twitch. We got 4 viewers in here. Dang, I was live for an hour and 12 minutes. All right, Twitch. You guys have a good day, man. You guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in.